Hello there, this is Edis. Here's a little video on something new for Skyrim Special Edition. In the latest update for ENB, there was a pre-pass introduced, which included a mask for skin. So what I did is messed a bit around with it and made this simple little editor for it, so you have more control over how your skin tones look in Skyrim. This requires to be subsurface scattering to be on. Also, this is not meant to be a replacement for the subsurface scattering. Uh, and yeah, so you should use it alongside. Also, if you don't use it alongside with each other, it won't work. It will actually look even. It will look terrible. So enable the subsurface scattering, then enable the prepass, which by default, and these are the default settings, does nothing. So what you can do now is edit the skin gamma. For example, let's set this to, I'm gonna make a real quick preset here. I'm gonna set it a bit higher so we have darker tones on the skin, as you can see as comparison here. If it's off, it's lighter, then it's darker if you turn it on. So then I'm gonna compensate that with like an exposure push. So this already is a bit of a change. I guess it looks more natural, which is what I actually wanted to achieve with this. The other thing is you can tint the skin to become another color. By default it's a kind of reddish tint, so the character looks more warm, I guess. You can edit this to whatever you want. You can also make a lot of Shreks in your Skyrim, or just red people everywhere if you like that. So yeah, that exists. Then we have skin hue. So for skin hue, you need to set the opacity to 1, then scroll around till you see one hue that you kind of want to mix in. Let's say you want a bit green in your skin for some reason, but this green is way too intense for you, so you set the opacity down, and at around 30 you have like a bit green on the skin. So the other thing that is here is skin smoothing, which is actually a Gaussian blur. So this will just smooth out the skins, as you can see. It has intensity sliders, so you can adjust that. But it also has a highlight detection. This will look for the brightest points, like here, for example, or his thing here, and basically mask out the shadows. So by default, it's not actually set to that. I'm going to show it on this skin right here. So for the testing, I'm going to turn this on, set it to 2, so you actually see the skin is a lot smoother now, a lot more blurred. Then I'm going to turn on the detection and go all the way down at first. So by default you will not see much of a difference, but when you turn this up, only the highlights will be blurred. So if we turn this off, you may or may not see the difference because YouTube. But as you can see, the shadows are completely ignored by the blur, and only the highlights are affected. So this is to simulate a bit more of how people would blur their skin in Photoshop, for example, to smooth it. Also, this has this highlight detection transition, which is basically how much the blur bleeds into the shadows. If this was uncapped and would allow it to be 0, there would be a straight line of blur where it's the mask starts. So this is a transition for it. Yet you can left at 40 or 50, I guess, which would be optimal, I guess. And yeah, I guess it might be really useful if you want more natural looking characters, but subsurface scattering doesn't give you enough options. And I hope you enjoy. I hope it's finding good use. A little thing I want to say about it too. This ENB, which I'm using here, is not included. This is not a finished preset, as you might can tell. it looks pretty ugly by now. So this is compatible with any ENB on the Nexus, so you can use it with, I don't know, Rudy ENB or re-engaged if you're into that, or PRT, stuff like that. It's compatible with any ENB if it doesn't have a custom prepass, which none of the ENBs on the Nexus has yet. So I hope you enjoy this little shader, and see ya.